and welcome to another episode of Back to Basics. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make a really simple kind of desert Badlands base, and all you're going to need is some Crackle Paint and maybe a couple of tufts and a skull or whatever it is you want to put on it. Now, I've used specific colours and coloured Crackle Paint in this, but obviously you can change that up and make this whatever colour you want. So let's head to the table and I will see you in a bit. So the first thing you're going to want to do is position your skulls on the base, and for that I'm just applying some super glue and then just pressing the skulls down onto the base wherever I want them. Then I have applied a priming coat of Army Painter Skeleton Bone. And now I'm just going to hit the entire thing with a layer of Seraphim Sepia. Just making sure you get it into all the nooks and crannies on the skulls. Once that's dry, we're going to move on to the most important part with using Crackle Paint, and that is to apply some PVA glue. Now, if you're interested in Crackle Paint, I've put the link up in the video for my Crackle Paint Basics video, where you can get some really great hints and tips on how to use this particular type of paint. Once that glue is dry, we're going to move on to applying the actual Crackle Paint. Now, I'm using two of Citadel's here. I'm using the Agrellan Earth, which is a nice smooth Crackle Paint, and I'm going to apply that quite thinly around the skulls. I'm just making sure that I get it all the way up to the edges of the skulls so that it looks like they're kind of almost embedded in the cracked mud. And I'm just making sure I get that little bit behind them as well. Then I'm going to move on to the Agrellan Badlands. Now, this is a much thicker Crackle Paint, and as you can see, I had a lot of trouble getting it out of the pot. So all I'm doing with this is I'm just kind of manipulating this and smushing it around the rest of the base. And I'm blending it in with the Agrellan Earth as well to try and get a nice transition between the two. Now I'm going all the way up to the edges of the base as well, just to make sure we've got a nice coverage. And then I'm taking far too much out of the pot to finish it off. So I did need to remove some of this and put it back in. Then we're just going to leave this to dry for as long as possible. I left it overnight, and as you can see, it developed some really nice cracks. So this is the result, and I think it looks pretty cool as is, but we're going to hit it with a little bit of dry brushing for some highlights. First, I am using Screaming Skull on the skulls themselves to give the illusion of some kind of sun-bleached effect on those. And next we are going to apply some Zandri dust, quite a heavy dry brush, all over the rest of the base. And then following on from that, I'm going to go over the entire base again with another heavy dry brush of Ushabti bone. And again, this just gives that illusion of kind of sun-bleached earth. And it just kind of brings everything together as well. And then finally, we're just going to apply some tufts. Now, these are desert shrubs from Footpath. And these are great little shrubs with little bits of foliage on them, and they make for really great desert tufts. And finally, all you need to do is paint the rim. And now I'm doing this in black, but obviously you can do that in whatever colour you prefer. So there you go, that's my simple desert Badlands base. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel, and that way you'll be made aware whenever I release new content. And as always, I'd love to hear your feedback, so drop me a message in the comments and I will get back to you. I've put the links to my Facebook and Instagram down in the description, along with a list of all the things you will need to make this base. Now, I'll be back on Saturday with another all about that base video where I'll be showing you how I make my jungle base. So until then, happy hobbying.